On a perfect day for baseball here at Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo, California, could not be happier to welcome you to Blues Baseball here on the Blues Streaming Network. Today, it's the 11-1 SLO Blues facing off against the 12-2 Humboldt Crabs as the starting lineup for the Blues is introduced here. Happy to have you along with us. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ebrahim. Blues coming off of the biggest win of the season for them. It is now at a 7-game winning streak for San Luis Obispo. That's what they bring into this competition against the Crabs, who have won 4 straight themselves. And Humboldt making the long trek down here from Northern California to play us here at Sinsheimer. Capacity crowd yet again as they continue to file in. The Blues won last night in Santa Barbara at Pershing Park. The final in that one, 5-0. And the Blues stunned the Foresters, who were undefeated coming into that one. Santa Barbara was 6-0, Blues 10-1. Blues came out victorious, and it was a combination of unbelievable pitching from the starter Matt Sox and bullpen of the Blues, and of course timely hitting, which we've seen all year. Blues went on the road for 2 games. The first was at Arroyo Seco, then at Santa Barbara. They were victorious in both, and the win streak stands at 7. And before we get set for baseball here, I'm going to step aside for this rendition of the national anthem. I'll be right back with you after it. And with that, we are just moments away from first pitch. Starter on the mound for the Blues, the lefty out of Hawaii, Austin Teixeira. Comes in with a record of 2-0. The ERA sitting at 2.57 for Austin in 7 full innings pitched. He has struck out 8, walked 2, and only allowed 5 hits. Only allowed 1 hit in his previous start. Of course, a Blues victory. So it's the 11-1 Blues riding a 7-game winning streak. Their last loss, it was opening day here at Sinsheimer, and they fell to the Walnut Creek Crawdads by a score of 9-4. Since then, there's been no losing. 7 straight, capped off with a victory in Santa Barbara last night. A win that had everyone excited. Blues won by the score of 5-0. It was Matt Sox, the starter in last night's ball game, who went through 5 full and was phenomenal, striking out 8. Only allowed about 3 hits and a couple walks. But it was him and then Miller Plyman and Sam Page and Zach McCleve to close things out in the 9th. And well, the Blues would hold a Foresters offense that was averaging over 10 runs per game scoreless and walk out with the 5-0 victory. Now, Blues come home, and they're happy to be here at Sinsheimer, welcoming the Humboldt Crabs for a 3-game weekend series that starts here tonight. Saturday's ball game, first pitch at 4 p.m., and then, of course, Sunday is at 1 p.m. So a full weekend of baseball here in Sinsheimer, and, of course, on the Blues Streaming Network, we'll have all the coverage for you. And here's how the Crabs line up today, leading things off and DHing. Leadoff hitter in the DH for the second straight game the Blues face. Now, this is Ethan Smith. Batting second and doing the catching is Dylan McPhillips. Batting third and playing first base is Gabe Gioso. Batting cleanup and playing center field is Josh Lauk. Batting fifth and playing third base is David Morgan, followed by Tyler Gannis, the right fielder, Ethan Fischel, the second baseman, Aaron Casillas, the shortstop, and Connor Kincaid rounds things out and bats ninth, playing left field. Here is Smith to face Teixeira, the 2-0 lefty, with the sub-3 ERA, delivers the first pitch. And it's a ball that's low and away, and we're underway here at Sinsheimer. The Red Hot Blues welcome the Humboldt Crabs. They made it in about 2 separate trips. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. The Crabs did. Talked to head coach, manager, Robin Guyver. Said we made it in 2 trips. If we made it in 1, it would have been a 10-hour bus ride, and I don't think anyone is prepared for that. It's 1-1 to Smith. Here's the third pitch from Teixeira. Fouled back, and it's an early souvenir. Teixeira gets ahead in the count, 1-2. Austin, the freshman out of Hawaii. Coming off a start. Went 4 full innings. One more than his previous start where he went 3. That one's sent out to left. This one's got some carry on it. Miles will range back, and if it's fair, it's gone. And it is. It's a leadoff home run for Ethan Smith. And on the 4th pitch of the ball game, the Crabs lead 1-0. So Teixeira gets greeted with an early bomb by Smith, the DH, who leads off with a solo shot. Now it's 1-0 Humboldt, and in steps Dylan McPhillips. 1-0 Crabs, no outs here in the top of the first. Here's the first pitch to McPhillips. We'll see how Teixeira responds, and that one's sent out into center, and ranging on is Cermak, but he can't make the catch. That one drops for a base hit, and McPhillips singles. So solo shot and a single for the Crabs as their offense comes in and makes some early noise. Now here's Gabe Gioso, the first baseman, who bats with a man on first and no outs in the top of the first. Crabs have jumped on the Blues here early and lead 1-0. For Teixeira, that's just the 3rd earned run he's given up this season. We mentioned the sub-3 ERA. Breaking pitch in there, strike 1 as he gets ahead on Gioso. So it's McPhillips at first. He just singled. And here is Gioso. Teixeira looks in, gets the sign, and now checks first, comes set, and delivers an 0-1. Before that, he'll check on McPhillips at first. So the Blues, who made the trip back from Santa Barbara last night, got in around 11:30, much earlier than the previous game from Arroyo Seco. Saw them get in around 1:30 a.m. That's a ball that's low and away. Count now 1-1 on Gioso. It's 1-0 Crabs. But it was a happy bus ride back. A group of Blues that understood what the game meant. Stopped for food on the way back. In the words of Coach Bob Miller, if they win, they eat. And the Blues did that yesterday. Breaking pitch outside, it's 2-1. Taking off for second is McPhillips. Gunning there is Shell. He'll be safe with a stolen base. So McPhillips singles and now finds himself into second with a stolen base. So a runner in scoring position for the Crabs here early as they already lead 1-0. The count is 3-1 on Gabe Gioso. Gabe, a 281 hitter coming into today, 9 total hits on the season. Couple homers to his credit, too. He's tied for the lead in that statistical category with another Crab. Full count, and it's ball 4. So Gioso will take first on a walk, and now the Crabs have men on first and second with no outs here in the top of the first, and Teixeira is facing some early traffic. Here comes Josh Lauk. Lauk, one of the higher averages on this Crab squad. Third on the team in average. It sits at .357 as he bats cleanup today. And we'll try to bring men in on first and second for the Crabs. No outs in the top of the first. Teixeira delivers a fastball in there for strike 1. Teixeira looks in, checks second, working out of the stretch. It's 0-1 on Lauk, and now it's 0-2. Look like the changeup. Firmly ahead now in the count. This is a Crabs offense that comes in averaging, well, they're hitting .256 as a team on 118 total hits. They just added to their home run total. Smith just hit the 9th home run of the season for the Crabs. 0-2, breaking pitch. Broke a little too much inside, and it's 1-2. So Teixeira, after getting the leadoff homer, gives up a single and a walk, and is in a 1-2 count against Lauk. Getting an out here early with traffic. Key for Austin. 1-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Teixeira does get that first out, and it's in the form of a strikeout, his 9th of the season. The walk, just his 3rd he's given up this year. Crabs are coming off of a 7-2 win against the Reading Tigers. We mentioned they ride a 4-game win streak of their own into Sinsheimer today. Here comes David Morgan, the third baseman. Takes a breaking ball, bit inside, and it's 1-0. So Teixeira gets that first out in the form of a K. And is now a double play out of getting out of this one. It's 1-0 on Morgan. And Teixeira looking to settle in here. Comes to the plate. Paints the corner, and it's 1-1. Teixeira taking his time, working out of the stretch, checking on his runners before he deals. Crabs lead 1-0. We're in the top of the first. And there's one out. Teixeira checks second. McPhillips is there. Now he'll deal a 1-1 to the plate. It's a swinging bunt that's hit foul to the left side, and Teixeira gets ahead in the count 1-2. Austin's thrown over to first once after McPhillips singled. Then he walked Gabe Gioso. He's at first now. So keeping his runners honest, especially at first base. McPhillips did indeed steal second. Swinging bunt to third. Samuelson would tap third and gun over to first in time. And it is a double play. Music to the ears of every Blues fan. And a sigh of relief from Austin Teixeira, who does indeed work around the leadoff homer. It is 1-0 Crabs, but after a single, stolen base, and a walk, The Crabs will score no more, and Teixeira holds them to just one after he faces early traffic, and Austin gets himself out of the jam. Quite nicely, I should say. So after Samuelson fielded a soft grounder, he tagged third as McPhillips was running there, and then gunned with his cannon of an arm from the hot corner to first for the double play, and that sends the Crabs away in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first now. Blues trailing 1-0, and here's how they line up here today. After having the same lineup in back-to-back games, it's switched up slightly, and we've got some new faces in there. Ryan Fenn is back and leading off as he plays second base, followed by Mason Grotto. And in the game of where will Grotto play defense today, we find him at first base, one of 5 defensive positions he's played all year. Ryan Cermak, who had the biggest hit of the season for the Blues last night, a 3-run home run that made it 5-0 in Santa Barbara, became an insurmountable lead. Cermak bats third and, of course, plays center field. Austin Schell's doing the catching tonight, bats cleanup. Tate Samuelson, who just made the double play, is batting fifth and playing third. New face for the Blues, senior out of Fresno State, Vinny Bologna plays right field, followed by another Blue making his first start in the lineup this season, Justin Trimble. He'll DH, followed by Ruben Mercado, who bats eighth and plays shortstop. And, of course, the switch hitter Craig Miles bats ninth and plays left field, rounding out the Blues lineup. On the mound for the Crabs today, the Blues will have to face Caden Ricomini. And Caden's got a fastball, changeup, and slider, the right-hander. And in looking at his season numbers, Caden comes in with 5 full innings pitched, 1 start under his belt. He's 1-0. He's given up 4 hits, a couple earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts mixed in there. 3.6 ERA for Ricomini, and he'll face a Blues offense that's put up 5 runs in back-to-back games that were much closer than they're accustomed to this season. Both victories, of course. He delivers a first pitch strike to Ryan Fenn, and the count's 0-1. Ryan, who this is his first time starting. Second pitch is low ball 1. This is Ryan's first time starting, since he was hit in the helmet with a pitch back in that 3-game series against the Mudcats last weekend. Here's the 1-1 to Fenn. Swinging bunt to third. Morgan fields it, guns over to first in time, and what a play. So it's Morgan on to Gioso at first, and it's a 5-3 ground out to start Fenn and the Blues offense's day. So 1 out in the bottom of the first, and here does come Mason Grotto. Can't say enough about what he's done this season. He's been batting second in our most recent ball games. Moves from left field to first. Playing first base today. First pitch on to Grotto is a strike. So he takes 0-1 now. The numbers for Grotto offensively, just staggering. Leads the team in hits, walks. Ball's behind 0-2 here. Hits, walks, runs scored, RBIs, stolen bases. He's done it all and is in an 0-2 count here against Ricomini. Takes outside ball 1. Grotto, who is seeing the ball better than any Blue offensively at the plate. Him and Ryan Cermak, of course, batting second and third, have just been incredible. 1-2, and that one's in the dirt, and Grotto gets the count back to even at 2-2. Mason, who has a hit in every single ball game this year, in all 12 games, he has at least gotten a hit. Here's the 2-2 to Grotto. In there, strike 3 called. So Grotto strikes out looking. That's just the 3rd time he struck out all year. And the greatest walk-up song that ever was, Grove Street Party, welcomes Ryan Cermak to the batter's box. Cermak also has a hit in every single game. None bigger than the 3-run homer last night. Sends that one out to left. It's deep and foul. So 0-1 as he jumped on the first pitch from Ricomini. Caden Ricomini. Mentioned only 2 earned runs on the season. Cermak swings and misses through that one. And Ricomini quickly ahead 0-2 on Cermak. So Ryan has a hit in every game as well. And him and Grotto protecting each other in the lineup have done a terrific job. That's a swing at that one. It's fouled off to the left side. It's still 0-2. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and it's 1-0 Crabs here early at Sinsheimer. Cermak, whose 3-run homer was deep to dead center, and at Pershing Park, dead center goes about 390. It's about 395 here at Sinsheimer. But the biggest hit of the season for the Blues came from this man's bat. He'll take strike 3 called, and it's back-to-back Ks that set down the Blues in the bottom of the first. Caden Ricomini puts them down 1-2-3 and retires the side with back-to-back strikeouts looking. So we haven't said it much this year. Blues trail after 1. It's 1-0 on an Ethan Smith solo home run. Austin Teixeira will be out for his second inning of work. In last night's ballgame, the Blues would strike early. With the bases loaded, Tate Samuelson would fly out to right and score a run from third. So that's sac fly and an RBI. That was Samuelson's 14th RBI on this season. He's second to Grotto in that category. So they gave Matt Sox, the starter last night, an early cushion. Teixeira, without that cushion so far. It's only 1 run that he's given up. Worked around traffic early. And he'll have to face Tyler Gannis to lead off the top of the second. It's 1-0 Crabs here at Sinsheimer. So that walk back in the first, that's the 75th walk the Crabs have taken this season. Mentioned the home run, their 9th. The total run, that was their 90th run scored. So now they've scored 90 total runs in 14 ball games. The Blues have scored 114 through their 12 games. So that just shows you how prolific this offense has been. Only through 1 inning here. We're set to start the top of the second. It's Tyler Gannis, as promised, to lead things off, the right fielder today. And Teixeira, the lefty on the mound, faces the righty Gannis. And here's the first pitch of the top of the second. Gannis shows bunt, pulls away, and it's taken for strike 1 on the outside corner. Teixeira ahead 0-1. Definitely a key to Teixeira's success. We've seen it in his 2 previous starts, getting ahead with that first pitch strike. Delivers a ball in the dirt, and it's 1-1 now as the count is even on Gannis. Here's the 1-1. Popped out to right center, and ranging on is Bologna. His first start as a Blue. He ranges on from right, had to cover a lot of ground, ends up in shallow right, makes a diving catch for the first out. Here's Ethan Fischel. 1 out, top of the second, 1-0 Crabs. Fischel, the second baseman. Teixeira delivers ball 1 to Fischel. Second pitch, bit high. 2-0 now on Ethan. That one's high, and now it's 3-0. Fischel, who has walked 5 times already this season, and the walk numbers, it's a high number for this Crabs offense. Here's the 3-0 from Teixeira. That one's in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Fischel will stay in there in a 3-1 count as he is ahead. Ethan Fischel, the average of 231 coming into today. That 3-1 is sent out to center. Ranging on is Cermak, but it'll drop in front of him for a base hit. And Fischel is on with a single. 1 man on and 1 out in the top of the second. The Humboldt Crabs of Northern California come in 12-2, 4-game winning streak. Lead the Blues 1-0 here early. That was off an Ethan Smith leadoff home run on the 4th pitch of this ball game. Fischel singles. That's the 3rd hit of the game for the Crabs. And Teixeira now faces Aaron Casillas with 1 man on. That one's sent into left, a 2nd straight base hit. It's another single. And the Crabs will have men on 1st and 2nd with Connor Kincaid coming to the plate and still just 1 out in the top of the 2nd. Casillas singles on the 1st pitch he sees, and that brings Kincaid to the plate. Kincaid, the average, 2nd on the team in average at .382. 11 RBIs to his credit. Tied for the lead in that category on the Crabs with Andrew Allenson. That 1st pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Shell. Runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd now, and it's a 1-0 count on Kincaid. Teixeira facing traffic for the 2nd straight inning. It's men on 2nd and 3rd. It's Fischel at 3rd now. Casillas at 2nd. They advance on the wild pitch. Teixeira checks 3rd momentarily. Now sends a 1-0 to the plate. Breaking pitch, beautifully feathered in there for strike 1. And it's 1-1 now. So now 4 hits for the Crabs. And men on 2nd and 3rd. Here's the 1-1 from Teixeira to Kincaid. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Tyler Gannis flew out to right. And a great play by Vinny Bologna, making his first start for the Blues out there and right. Made the catch and back-to-back singles. Have 2 men in scoring position for the Crabs. 1-2. Outside, ball 2. And Shell threatens to throw over to 3rd. But with the count even, Kincaid will await the 5th pitch of this at-bat. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch fouled off to the right side. Teixeira went with the curveball. And the count remains the same. Situation the same with men on 2nd and 3rd and 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. It's 1-0 Crabs. Teixeira checks 2nd in the middle of his delivery. And it's low for ball 3. Count will be full on Connor Kincaid, the left fielder. Here's the payoff pitch from Teixeira. Bit high, and it's ball 4. Bases will be loaded as 3 straight Crabs have reached. So a single by Fischel, a single by Casillas. They advance to 2nd and 3rd on a wild pitch. And now Kincaid takes a walk to 1st, and we'll work our way back to the top of the lineup. And the DH, Ethan Smith, who led this game off with a solo homer, will bat with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. Crabs offense making Teixeira work here early. He faces bumper-to-bumper traffic on these base paths and delivers the 1st pitch to Smith. It's a curveball that's swung on and missed for strike 1. Teixeira gets ahead in the count early. Teixeira gets the sign. Again, checks 3rd in the middle of his windup and delivers a ball low. Count even at 1-1. One the count to Ethan Smith, who's 1 for 1 with a solo homer. That led off this ball game. That one's high, went with the fastball there, and it's 2-1. 2-1 from Teixeira. Away ball 3. And the Crabs are 1 ball away from walking in a second run, possibly. Teixeira tasked with sending a 3-1 pitch to the man who homered off him with the bases loaded. There's still only 1 out, top of the second. Here's that 3-1 pitch from Teixeira. It's swung on and hit to Samuelson at third. He'll gun to Fenn at second. On to first. In time for the double play. And incredibly, Teixeira gets 2 double plays to get him out of jams in the first and now in the second. And it does not get more tense than that. Bases loaded and a 3-ball count to a man who's homered off of you. And it's a double play to third. It went from Samuelson to Fenn to Grotto, 5-4-3 on the double play. And the Crabs do not score. Teixeira gets out of his second straight jam. Our score remains 1-0 Humboldt. Man, you want to talk about staying in strong on the mound. Teixeira inducing weak contact to Ethan Smith. And, of course, the steady hands of Tate Samuelson at third, sending a double play ball to Fenn at second, and then gunning on to Grotto for the double play to end the inning. Blues, who didn't get a base runner in the first, now will come to the plate for the bottom of the second. Score still 1-0 Crabs. Amazingly, Austin Teixeira is showing you a lot here early. Faced with adversity and getting through it. Up to the Blues now to leave their mark on Caden Ricomini, who was excellent, striking out 2 and inducing a ground out in the bottom of the first. So he adds 2 strikeouts to his season total.
Was 10-16 called for anything? Yeah.
Giving him now 10 strikeouts on the season in 6 innings pitched. We're now into the bottom of the second, and the man who's batting cleanup and doing the catching today, Austin Schell, caught the ball game yesterday in Santa Barbara. Caught for every Blues pitcher who was excellent yesterday. Schell swings at the first pitch and sends it softly out to right, and ranging on to make the play is Gannis for the first pitch and the first out. And here comes Tate Samuelson, a man who drove in a run in the ballgame yesterday, an early one in the top of the first that would give the Blues a 1-0 lead. They would not look back after that. Came on a sac fly with the bases loaded. Samuelson awaits the first pitch from Ricomini. Generous call on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Samuelson, who has had 2 softly hit grounders to him, swung on and missed there, behind 0-2 now. So the grounders that have been hit to Samuelson have both resulted in double plays. And there is no question Tate Samuelson, who has gotten a hit in every game he's played this season as well. 0-2. Low, ball 1. Samuelson's gotten a hit in every game he's played. Tied for the team lead in homers with 2. Had 6 RBIs in a game last weekend. 1-2, excuse me, is swung on and missed. And Samuelson strikes out on 4 pitches. And here is the debut at the plate for Vinny Bologna, right fielder. First pitch he sees is taken outside part of the plate again, and it's called for a strike. Ricomini painting that area right now and gets ahead on Bologna, 0-1. Vinny, a senior at Fresno State, teammate of Mason Grotto's, takes strike 2 and is quickly behind 0-2. Hometown of Belmont, California. Vinny's 2021 campaign saw him with a batting average of .288, 16 RBIs, 3 homers, 7 doubles in 22 games played for the Bulldogs. Behind 0-2 and takes ball 1. Count now 1-2. And Bologna making his first start out in right.
1-2 count.
1-2 is the count. And Bologna swings and misses through that one for a strikeout. That'll end the inning. And Ricomini has seen 6 Blues and set them all down. 4 Ks mixed in there. Gives him 12 strikeouts on the season. And the Blues have not had a base runner. So Caden Ricomini is dealing early. Not to be outdone is Austin Teixeira, who has faced traffic in both innings and gotten out of 2 jams. So that is it for us through 2. It's still 1-0 Crabs. Humboldt leading this one 1-0. Made the trip down from Northern California for a 3-game series here in San Luis Obispo. Game 1 of this series here at Sinsheimer. Happy to have you along with us. Austin Teixeira will indeed be out there for his 3rd inning of work. Through 2 so far, he's given up the solo homer, but that's the only run of the game. Other than that, he's given up 3 singles, 2 walks, and has worked around any traffic he's faced. He warms up now for his 3rd inning of work. And while we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors, Via Automotive. They've been with us since 1946, the entire existence of the Blues. That's 75 years. This is, of course, the 75th season of Blues baseball. Via Automotive, if you're in need of any automotive repairs in the San Luis Obispo area, check out our friends at Via Automotive, where their slogan is, "Our family taking care of your family." So through 2, 1-0 Crabs. And it'll be Dylan McPhillips, who singled back in the first to lead off the top of the 3rd here at Sinsheimer. Temperatures in the low 70s. Perfect day for baseball. Perfect evening, I should say. Got a camera crew out here from a local TV station paying attention to the Blues. And how can you not? 11-1, 7-game win streak. Welcome in a Crabs team that's been equally impressive. 12-2. Here's the first pitch from Teixeira in the 3rd. It's swung on and grounded foul to the left side. Gets ahead on McPhillips, 0-1. Teixeira, part of a Blues pitching staff that all year has now only given up 31 runs in now 13 games. Inside, ball 1, count even at 1-1. That's only the 16th extra base hit given up by Blues pitching. This one's hit right back to Teixeira on a line. He'll toss to Grotto. 1 out. McPhillips now 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. So 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. And here's Gabe Gioso. Teixeira got 1 quick out to start the 2nd and then would allow 3 straight Crabs to reach. Faced a bases loaded situation. Was able to get out of it with a 2nd straight double play. Swung on and grounded to Samuelson, who's gotten a lot of work here early. He'll gun over to Grotto at first. There's 2 out. Two outs, top of the 3rd, and here comes Josh Lauk, the only strikeout victim of Teixeira today. And he'll bat with no one on and 2 out in the top of the 3rd, and his team leading 1-0. Josh has the average at 357 coming into today. Takes a first pitch fastball for a strike and is behind 0-1 on Teixeira. Teixeira now through 2 2/3 innings pitched. This is his quickest so far and is ahead 0-1 on Lauk. Breaking pitch, bit low. Gets away momentarily, and it's 1-1, the count even. Talked to manager Robin Guyver before this one, and he says that a lot of the success the Crabs have achieved this season has been because of their pitching. 1-1. High, ball 2. And we're seeing that here early. Caden Ricomini has not allowed a base runner and has struck out 4 of the 6 Blues that he's faced. So he's looked awesome early. But he said it's just as of late, we're finding our power. And that was apparent with Ethan Smith leading off this game with a home run. Here's the 2-1 from Teixeira, and that one is low for ball 3. Shell will toss another ball to Teixeira, and it's a 3-1 count on Lauk. 2 outs, top of the third, 1-0 Crabs. But Robin Guyver said, yeah, as of late, we're finding our power, and that's complementing our pitching well, and that's why we see them coming in here today with a 4-game winning streak. Blues trying to put that out and increase theirs to 8. 3-1, high, ball 4. It's the third walk for Teixeira today. And here comes David Morgan, who Teixeira was able to induce that first ground out in the first inning with this man at the plate. He softly grounded one to Samuelson, who would do the rest. Bats now with 1 man on. That's Lauk, who just walked, and 2 outs in the top of the third. Teixeira deals, swung on and missed, and gets ahead 0-1 on Morgan. The walks now for Austin. That was his 5th this season. So the lefty looks in at the righty Morgan after checking first. He will toss there just to check on Lauk. So the count is 0-1 on Morgan. Bats with 2 out and 1 man on. Taking off for second and thrown there. Grotto to Fenn. And Lauk is caught stealing. Teixeira was thinking about picking him off anyway. Lauk took off for second. Teixeira tossed to Grotto at first. He tossed to Fenn at second. And so Teixeira does indeed work around the walk and still face the minimum in the inning. That's it for the Crabs through 3. They still lead 1-0, but it'll be up to the Blues bats to respond and try and get something off of Caden Ricomini, who has struck out 4 of the 6 Blues he's faced and has also induced a ground out and a fly out. The right-hander has looked sharp here early. Happy to have you along with us on the Blue Streaming Network. Again, I'm Zach Ebrahim. Had to deal through technical difficulties in Santa Barbara last night at Pershing Park, but didn't matter. Blues did all the hard work in that one. Won 5-0 in a game that was these players were so eager to play, and the Blues had not won in Santa Barbara in 4 years, and they shut them out. An offense that was averaging over 10 runs per game, had put up over 20 runs in 2 games early in the season, had a lot of talent on that roster, and Blues pitching had easily their best performance of the year. It was their second shutout. Shut out the Academy Barons earlier this season. But here we are in Sinsheimer. And here is another debut for a Blue at the plate. It's Justin Trimble. Freshman on his way to UCSB. Leads off the bottom of the third here for the Blues, who trail 1-0 to the Humboldt Crabs. He takes strike 1 from Ricomini, who has been painting the outside corner of the strike zone like he's Picasso. 0-1, fouled back by Trimble. So Justin quickly behind 0-2. Trimble out of Arroyo Grande. It's not far from here. He has joined the Blues. 0-2, taken low, ball 1. Stays alive in the count, and we'll see a 4th pitch. Blues have been set down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first and bottom of the second. Here's Trimble to lead off the bottom of the third as they trail 1-0. Here's Ricomini, 4th pitch to the plate. It's swung on and missed by Trimble. So give Ricomini 5 strikeouts through the first 7 men he's faced. Here's Ruben Mercado, who had an excellent 2 games on the road. That first game on the road, that was Wednesday night in Arroyo Seco against the Saints. Mercado had the best at-bat by any Blue this season, a 12-pitch at-bat that would eventually score a runner from third on a sac fly. That one's fouled straight back. He'll be behind in the count 0-1. But Mercado would go on to drive in 2 in that ball game. 2 of the 5 runs scored by the Blues in what would end up being a 5-1 victory Ruben, who's looked more comfortable at the plate, singled the other night in Santa Barbara. Here's the 0-1. Way inside, taken. Count now 1-1. But Mercado mentioned that he's fouling off pitches. He feels he needs to get behind and send into the infield, or outfield, that is, for base hits. And he did that on this most recent road trip. 1-1. Again, that outside corner painted perfectly, and it's 1-2. Ricomini has struck out 3 straight blues, Samuelson, Bologna, and Trimble to lead off this inning. Mercado bats with 1 man out and no one on in the bottom of the third. Fouls that one off to stay alive. The count 1-2 now. So Ruben had 2 RBIs on the 2-game road trip, both in the game against the Saints. Also had a single in that game and a single against the Foresters. Takes ball 2, and the count is even now at 2-2. Ruben also joked in a lot of his at-bats this year, he's gotten behind 0-2 early and worked his way back in the count. That's one thing he's been proud of, his approach at the plate. That one's fouled off again, and Ruben stays alive. Count still 2-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the third, and the Crabs still lead 1-0. Crabs have 4 hits in this one. Blues have none. Have not had a base runner. It'll be Mercado and then Miles. 2-2. Mercado checked his swing. It went off his bat anyway, so it'll go as a ball that's batted foul. And Mercado, who's having another lengthy at-bat, about halfway to the one he had against the Saints. An incredible 12-pitch at-bat that would score a run on a sac fly. Here's another 2-2 from Ricomini. That one swung on and missed through Mercado for strike 3. And Ricomini has struck out 4 straight blues and will now face Craig Miles in the bottom of the third, who will bat with 2 on and no one out. It's 1-0 Crabs, and Ricomini now has 6 strikeouts and has faced 8 blues. So here's the switch-hitting Miles, who bats from the left side against the righty Ricomini. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Caden doesn't get the call on that one. He's been getting it up until this point. It's 1-0 to Miles, the left fielder out of George Mason, teammate of Thomas Trinka. Hit up and popped up. Infield will range on. It'll be Casillas, the shortstop, in shallow left to make the catch for the third out, and the Blues go quietly for a third straight inning. Ricomini sets them down 1-2-3, and for the third straight inning, he struck out 2 Blues. So through 3, our score remains 1-0 Crabs. They got that run early, and they have kept it with Caden Ricomini pitching beautifully, has set down the first 9 Blues he has faced, has mixed in 6 strikeouts to give him a total of 14 on the season now in his 8 innings pitched. So Ricomini has been phenomenal, and Austin Teixeira will indeed be on for his 4th inning of work with his team trailing 1-0. Hey, we want to give another shout out to another one of our generous sponsors, Club Cannon, who sponsor our CO2 cannons here at Sinsheimer that go off when the Blues do something awesome offensively. Thank you to Club Cannon providing those CO2 cannons. If you're in need of any special effects equipment whatsoever, check out our friends at Club Cannon. They've got you covered. And Teixeira will warm up. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blues Streaming Network. Top of the 4th coming up. Top of the 4th now. Here's Teixeira. Swung on and missed. That's David Morgan, who's in an 0-1 count to Teixeira early. David Morgan, of course, who was up in the top of the 3rd, but did not finish his at-bat as Josh Lauk was caught stealing second Here's an 0-1 to the plate. It's a ball, and it's 1-1 now. The count to Teixeira, who's 52 pitches deep. We're in the top of the fourth. He's thrown 24 balls. 1-1. Outside, ball 2. David Morgan, well, he leads the team in batting average. That sits at .421 for him coming into this one. Only four RBIs to his total. Hit sharply foul to the left side. It's 2-2. That count even. This is a Crabs team that doesn't strike out a lot and walks a whole lot. Teixeira inducing ground balls at the right time, has only gotten the 1 strikeout today in a 2-2 count against David Morgan, who grounded out to third. Again, the double play that ended the first. Here's the 5th pitch he sees from Teixeira in this at-bat. Fastball high, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Teixeira will get a K to start the top of the fourth, and there's 1 out for Tyler Gannis, who flew out to right to start the second. That strikeout for Austin, that gets him to 10 on the season. Deepest Teixeira's gone in a game this year was 4 full innings. Only gave up 1 hit in his start. In his last start, I should say. That curveball is grounded softly to Mercado at short, who guns on to first. There's 2 out. So like the top of the third, Teixeira getting 2 quick outs, strikeout and a ground out of Gannis. Here's Ethan Fischel, who singled back in the second, and he started the rally that would not result in anything for the Crabs, but it was a rally nonetheless. Bases were loaded. He started that out with a single. Faces Teixeira with no one on and 2 out in the top of the fourth. It's still 1-0 Crabs. First pitch, check swing, batted foul, and it's 0-1 as Teixeira gets ahead. Batted foul again, and it's 0-2. Teixeira a strike away from getting his first 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the fourth as the fans chant for hot sauce. So a strikeout gives the fans hot sauce. One lucky fan, that is. 0-2. Went with the curveball and did not get the call. It's 1-2 as Teixeira takes a look into home plate umpire. Got 1-2. On to Ethan Fischel. 1-for-1 with a single. That was back in the second. Outside ball 2. Went with the fastball. Count gets back to even. Was ahead 0-2 on Fischel. Fischel has now worked the count back to even. Curveball way outside, and the count is full now at 3-2. And Teixeira has not had a 1-2-3 inning up until this point. He's on the doorstep of that, but also on the doorstep of giving up his 4th walk.
Desperate times.
Payoff pitch. Outside ball 4. It is indeed the 4th walk for Teixeira. Fischel has now reached in both his plate appearances. He has singled and walked. Here comes Aaron Casillas. He also had a single back in the second. He's 1-for-1. He'll bat with 1 man on and 2 out in the top of the fourth. The pitch count continuing to rise for Teixeira. He's now thrown more balls than strikes. And it's Fischel at first with a walk. Teixeira comes to the plate. Curveball in there for a strike. Shell applauds the location of it. So 0-1. It's a 3rd straight man he's gotten ahead 0-1 on. Gannis to ground out and Fischel to walk. Looks at first and now deals. Fastball in there, strike 2. Crabs who get a base runner on for the 4th consecutive inning. Teixeira trying to keep it at that. He's held them to the 1 run on the solo homer that led off this ball game. Crabs have been held scoreless. 0-2. Low gets away from Shell, gunning to second. He'll be safe, though. Fischel steals second. And Fischel is down at second. On his knees. He is safe at second. He stole the base. And now this training staff is out to check on him, make sure everything's okay. He waves him off momentarily, but they've got some questions for him. Didn't quite see what could have occurred. There was no collision. Fenn tried to apply the tag. He didn't run into Fenn at second. They're gonna check on him here. Just make sure everything is okay with Ethan Fischel, who's having a great day at the plate so far. Single and a walk and a stolen base to his credit. But the training staff is checking on him right now at second. So they checked on Fischel. Seems to be okay. He'll dust the helmet off and stand in at second with his stolen base. It's Aaron Casillas at the plate. And more importantly for Teixeira in the Blues, he's in a 1-2 count. Runner in scoring position. Teixeira trying to strand that runner there. Here's the 1-2. It is hit to Samuelson at third. Hits his glove. Saves it from going into the outfield. Not in time to make a throw on, and Casillas will single. So he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And the situation now, runners on first and third for the Crabs, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. They lead 1-0, and here's Connor Kincaid, who walked in his first plate appearance back in the 2nd. That loaded the bases. But Teixeira looks in. Men at the corners for the Crabs. It's Fischel at third and Casillas at first. He just singled. First pitch to Kincaid in there for a strike. He is ahead in the count 0-1. Teixeira, that is. So again, after getting 2 quick outs, a strikeout of Morgan and a ground out of Gannis, Fischel walks and stole second. Casillas singles. Fischel now at third and Casillas safe at first. Here's an 0-1. That one's in the dirt, and it's ball 1. Count now 1-1. It is even to Kincaid. Kincaid, who drew the walk, he got it to a full count on Teixeira, and he saw ball 4. 1-1. Hit over to second. There's no one there, and ranging on is Fenn. Blues infield was shifted. There was a gap between Grotto and Fenn, who was closer to second base. Allows that to reach, and it's a second straight single. So Kincaid has also reached on a walk and a single. The bottom 3 in this lineup, Fischel, Casillas, and Kincaid, have reached in both their plate appearances. They're responsible for 4 of the 6 Crabs hits. And here comes Bob Miller to the mound to meet Teixeira, and that'll do it for Austin's day. So the bases are loaded. We're in the top of the 4th. The Crabs have gone walk, stolen base, single, single. We'll work our way back to the top of their lineup now. It'll be Ethan Smith up. It'll be his 3rd at-bat of the game. And out of the pen, as the day ends for Teixeira, is Luke Bell, tasked with getting out of a massive jam yet again. It's the second time the Crabs have had the bases loaded today. The first time a ground out was induced. We'll see what Bell has for them as he warms up, and I'll take a short break and be right back with you on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out. I've got some housekeeping to do. That was my mistake. On the Kincaid single, that drove in Fischel from third. So it's 2-0 Crabs, and it's Casillas at second and Kincaid at first. Men are on first and second for the Crabs. It is 2-0. Kincaid drove in Fischel with that single from third. So it's 2-0 Crabs, 2 out, top of the fourth. Luke Bell on for the Blues and delivers a first pitch way high to Ethan Smith, who's 1 for 2 with a solo homer. So it's 2-0 Crabs. Smith drove in the first run of the game on the solo shot that led off the game. And Kincaid, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk, drove in a run on that last single. 1-0 the count, now 2-0 the count to Ethan Smith. Runners on first and second, again for the Crabs. They lead 2-0. Luke Bell has delivered 2 straight balls to Smith. There's 2 out in the top of the fourth. Bell will check second and now come to the plate. Smith takes strike 1. Again, it is 2-0 Crabs. Men are on first and second. And there are 2 outs for Ethan Smith in the top of the fourth. Bell to deliver a 2-1. High, ball 3. Bell, who has struggled with control this season. Has 3 walks to his credit. 3-1 to Smith. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, and he'll get the count full against the man who homered to lead off this ball game, Ethan Smith.
3-2 count.
3-2 is the count. Smith's homer, his second on the season, and it was RBI number 4 for him. He's trying to add to that total here. Runners take off. It was ball 4 on the payoff pitch. So Smith will walk. And now the bases are loaded for Dylan McPhillips. McPhillips, who singled after Smith homered to lead off the game, so he's 1 for 2. He has singled and grounded out to the pitcher. He now faces Luke Bell. It's righty on righty with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Popped up. Infield will have a look at it. Samuelson ranges on as it drifts foul into the crowd. Count will be 0-1 for Dylan McPhillips. Bell gets ahead in the count. Bases still loaded. It's 2-0 Crabs. Runs from Ethan Smith, solo homer, and an RBI single by Connor Kincaid that drove in Fischel from third. Here's the 0-1 to McPhillips. Breaking pitch in there, strike 2. And Bell feathered that one in to get ahead 0-2 in the count. and a strike away from ending what has been a lengthy top of the fourth here at Sinsheimer. Again, it's 2-0 Crabs. Bases loaded for Dylan McPhillips. He's in an 0-2 count against Luke Bell. Here is that 0-2. That one's outside, ball one. One, two from Bell. Hit up into center field. That'll score a run. Cermak will throw home. On a line. Shell couldn't hang on. 2-run score, and runners will advance to second and third. It's 4-0 Crabs. So 2-run score on a Dylan McPhillips single with the bases loaded. Throw in from Cermak was on a line, but a bit low for Shell. It got away from him. That allowed the second run to score. So here's Gabe Gioso with runners on second and third and 2 out on the top of the fourth. Bell delivers ball one to Gioso, who walked and has grounded out in this one. It is now 4-0 Crabs. Here's the 1-0 to Gioso, and it's in the dirt for ball two. Crabs, who have sent now 8 men to the plate, have tacked on 3 in this half of the inning, this half inning. It is 4-0 Crabs, and Luke Bell in a 2-0 count against Gabe Gioso, who has reached on a walk in this one. 2-0 from Bell, way inside ball 3. So McPhillips, who's safe at second, is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. Here's the 3-0 from Luke Bell to Gioso. High ball 4. Bases will be loaded yet again. And here comes Josh Lauk, as the Crabs have now sent every man in their lineup today to the plate in this inning, doing their best impression of the Blues. At least that's what we've seen from San Luis Obispo. It's been the opposite today. Looks like the pitching coach, Dean Traynor, out there to have a conversation with Luke Bell. Meeting of the minds on the mound. Here's what the Crabs have done in this inning. After Teixeira struck out Morgan and got Gannis to ground out, he walked Fischel, gave up a single to Casillas, and another single to Kincaid. That made it 2-0. Then Ethan Smith walked, and Luke Bell came in the game after the Kincaid single. Walked Smith. That loaded the bases. McPhillips singled. That drove in 2. And he just walked Gioso to load the bases again. Here comes Josh Lauk, who has struck out and walked so far. Bases loaded, 2 out. Inside, strike 1 on Lauk. Bases are loaded for the Crabs, who lead 4-0. Oh, 1. Inside, ball 1. Count even. There have been 2 outs in this top of the fourth for what feels like an hour. And Bell is still trying to get out of his second straight bases loaded jam. 1-1. Outside, ball 2. Lauk is the 9th hitter that has been sent to the plate for the Crabs in this inning. Again, we're in the top of the fourth. It is 4-0 Humboldt. Here's the 2-1. Hit on a hop to Fenn at second. He'll gun to first, and that'll finally end the inning. But the Crabs send everyone in the lineup to the plate. They tack on 3. They lead 4-0. Blues have still not had a base runner, and their bats will be up in the bottom of the 4th trying to change that and change it quick. An RBI single by Kincaid, a 2 RBI single by McPhillips. Have it 4-0 Crabs. And the unstoppable Caden Ricomini will be back out for his 4th inning of work, and he'll face the Blue Bats, who have been sitting. They've been playing defense. Blues Bats up, bottom of the 4th. While we have a moment, want to thank another one of our generous sponsors, High Street Deli. Had one of their sandwiches yesterday. It was phenomenal. If you're looking for the best Dutch crunch bread you've ever had, check out our friends at High Street Deli. They will take care of you. So it's Ricomini back out for the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Ryan Fenn to lead things off in the inning for the Blues. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blue Streaming Network. Thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and Fenn just popped up on the first pitch from Ricomini in this inning. So it's 1 pitch and 1 quick out. Fenn now 0 for 2 as he flies out to left. Here comes Mason Grotto. And if the Blues are going to get anything started, it'll be with this part of the lineup. Grotto and Cermak, who have both struck out. That was back in the 1st, and we've never said that up until this point in the season. Both men 0 for 1 with Ks. Ricomini delivers a first pitch strike to Grotto. Grotto playing first base today. Ricomini has set down the first 10 Blues he's seen. It's 1-1 to Grotto. It's 4-0 Crabs. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and there's 1 out here at Sinsheimer. Grotto awaits a 1-1, takes a hack, sends that out into right. That'll drop. It'll be fair. Grotto will round first and head into second. He's got a double. First hit, first base runner for the Blues. It's a Grotto double. Here comes Cermak. That double, the 7th for Grotto. So Grotto doubles. He has gotten a hit in every game this season. Here comes Cermak. That goes for him as well. Take strike 1. It'll be Cermak and then Shell. So Grotto is 1 for 2. Just doubled. He's safe at second. 0-1 is the count to Cermak. Ryan swings and misses through a breaking ball. And it's 0-2 now quickly on Cermak, who had the biggest hit of the Blues season last night. A 3-run homer against the Foresters that made it 5-0. Trying to lead the rally here in the bottom of the 4th. 0-2, sent out to left. Ranging on is Kincaid, diving and can't make the catch. Grotto will round third and score. Cermak is at second and now will be safe at third. It's 4-1. Cermak triples for the third time this season. He's safe at third. It's 4-1 as he drives in Grotto, who doubled. So the hottest Blues double and triple to make it 4-1. Here comes Austin Shell, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout. Takes ball one, and the Blues have finally gotten to Rico Mini here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 4-1 now. Crabs still lead, but Cermak is safe at third. He just tripled, and Shell is at the plate in a 1-0 count with one out in the bottom of the fourth. That one's grounded to third, and it's by Morgan. Cermak will score. Shell is safe at first. It's 4-2 as they continue to chip away. Shell sends a bouncing single past Morgan and Casillas in the left side of this infield, and here comes Tate Samuelson. Shell adds another RBI. He had one yesterday. He's safe at first. One out, bottom of the fourth. Here's Rico Mini to deliver to Tate Samuelson, who takes strike one. Samuelson, one of Rico Mini's 6 strikeout victims, but the Blues have gotten to him. It's 4-2. They've cut the lead in half, and Shell is safe at first as the rally is still on. Rico Mini sends one over to first. So 0-1 as Tate has only seen one pitch so far. Shell, who just singled in Cermak. That pitch is away, ball one. Blues have gotten 3 straight hits. Out of the heart of this lineup, Grotto doubled, Cermak tripled, and Shell singled to make it now 4-2. And here is Tate Samuelson awaiting a 1-1 from Rico Mini. Breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Beautifully placed, and we've said that with everything Rico Mini has sent up until this point. Blues have gotten to him, but he sat down the first 10 Blues he saw in this one. And then they deliver back-to-back extra base hits, 3 straight hits to cut the lead in half. 1-2 to Tate Samuelson. Swung on and missed strike 3. Samuelson is now 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And here is Vinny Bologna, who in his first at-bat as a Blue did indeed strike out swinging. That gives Rico Mini 7 Ks on the evening, and he gets a key second out. So Bologna bats with Shell at first, who is checked on by Rico Mini. He's safe. It's 4-2. Crabs still lead. Bologna fouls one back, and it's 0-1 on him. Cermak tripled for the third time this season to drive in his 15th run, and Shell singled to drive him in. That was his 13th RBI. Here's the 0-1 to Bologna. Time called, and we'll take a second here. Again, the double by Grotto, his 7th. Cermak now with 15 RBIs. Grotto, Cermak, and Samuelson, 1, 2, and 3 in RBIs this season. Bologna grounds one foul to the left side. He's behind 0-2 on Rico Mini. Oh and 2. Went to the fastball on the outside corner, called for a ball. Bologna stays alive. It's 1-2. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth, and it's 4-2 Crabs. Blues have plated 2 in this inning. Throw on to first. Checks on Shell. Shell doing the catching today. Justin Trimble DHing. He's due next if Bologna reaches. This is popped up into right. Ranging on is Gannis, who had to call off Fischel momentarily. Makes the catch and retires the side but not before the Blues plate 2. On a double from Grotto, a triple from Cermak, and a single from Shell. It's 4-2. Blues are back in it, and Luke Bell will be out there for his second inning of relief. Let's head to the top of the 5th. We are in the top of the 5th. Welcome back to Sinsheimer. Luke Bell still out there for the Blues, and he'll face David Morgan. Deals way inside on ball 1. Morgan, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. The Crabs set every man to the plate in the top of the 4th. Tacked on 3. Blues respond with 2 in the bottom of the 4th. We're in the top of the 5th now. Bell is ahead 0-2 on the third baseman, Morgan. This is his third at-bat, and there's no outs in the top of the 5th. Fouled straight back, and we'll do it all over again.
Sure, with ice? Yeah. Okay.
Fouled back again. Count is 1-2 on David Morgan, and it's still Bell out there. And he's pitching now with the deficit cut in half. It is 4-2. Crabs with the lead. 1-2. That breaks away, and it's 2-2 now as Morgan has worked the count back to even after falling behind 0-2. David Morgan again leading this team in batting average. Has been quiet up until this point. Way inside. I don't even know how he was able to get out of. That's what I thought. I didn't think he got out of the way of that one. He will be hit by a pitch and take first base. So Bell, who struggled with control in the last inning, has struggled a bit this season with it. Deals way inside, hits David Morgan, grazes him, I should say. But he's safe at first. So the Crabs get the leadoff man on with no outs in the top of the 5th. And here is Tyler Gannis, who is 0 for 2 himself. But he'll bat with one man on and no outs in the top of the 5th. His team leading by 2. Bell delivers ball 1 to the plate. A fastball that's high and outside. Blues, who deployed a lot of arms on this most recent road trip, threw their best at the teams from the CCL South. now facing a worthy opponent. Every opponent's a worthy opponent. But this Crabs team, hot coming in. It's 1-1 the count now on Gannis, who played a close one in Arroyo Seco and a close one for half the game in Santa Barbara. It's a close one again. 4-2. Runner takes off for second. Shell is gunning there. It's a bit. And Morgan will take second. That's another stolen base for a Crab who reaches. Morgan was hit by a pitch. He was safe at first. And in the process, steals second as the count is 2-1 to Tyler Gannis. And Luke Bell dealing with another runner in scoring position. He'll have to pitch around it with no outs in the top of the fifth. 4-2 Crabs. Bell checks second. Now deals a 2-1. Breaking pitch in there for strike two. Evens the count now on Gannis. Gannis, who flew out to right back in the second and grounded out to short in the top of the fourth. He was the second out, and with two outs, the Crabs would go walk, single, RBI single, walk, 2 RBI single, and another walk, and finally go after plating 3. It's 4-2. Bell in a 2-2 count against Gannis comes to the plate. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. Bell gets his first strikeout of the outing, his 5th on this season, and there's 1 out in the top of the 5th. David Morgan at second for Ethan Fischel, who has reached in both his plate appearances. Said it in the last half inning. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Crabs have all reached in both their plate appearances. 4 singles and 2 walks in their 6 at-bats. This now Fischel's third, and he'll take strike 1. Oh, 1 from Bell. Taking off for third was Morgan, going for a second stolen base, and it was fouled back by Fischel. Count is 0-2 on him. One out, top of the 5th, 1 man on. That's Morgan at second. He was hit by a pitch and stole second. Bell to the plate. High. Ball 1. Bell checks second, now delivers a 1-2. Breaking pitch that's hit out to left, but Miles has it. Sliding catch, and there's 2 out. Here's Casillas. He'll bat with Morgan still on second, now with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Casillas, who has singled twice. Both times with men on already. That is a trend. Both times he singled, Fischel was on first. Now he'll bat with Morgan on second. And Luke Bell at the plate. His first at-bat against Bell. Steps off and takes time. There's 2 out. Top of the 5th in what's been a good one. Crabs jumped out to the 4-0 lead. Blues responded with 2 in the bottom of the 4th. And here we are, top of the 5th. First pitch to Casillas is high for ball 1. It's 1-0, the count to Casillas. And Bell sends a breaking ball that's hit out to right. And Bologna is on for the catch. And that's the 3rd out. Crabs will strand a runner on second. Score remains 4-2. Humboldt in the lead. But they are held scoreless in the top of the 5th. We will head now to the bottom of the fifth, and the Blues bats on to face Caden Ricomini. They got 2 off of him on 3 straight hits in the bottom of the fourth. Ricomini is out for his 5th inning of work, and we'll see what the Blues have for him in store, as it'll be Vinny Bologna to lead things off for the Blues. Excuse me. My mistake. It'll be Justin Trimble to lead things off for the Blues in the bottom of the fifth. Bologna, he did indeed pop out to right to end the bottom of the fourth. So here's Justin Trimble. He'll be on to face Ricomini. He's 0 for 1 against him. He is one of his 6 strikeout victims. Struck out swinging back in the third. He will lead off the bottom of the fifth, and it'll be Ricomini versus Trimble. Trimble doing the DHing today. We saw Shell and Bloom switch off catching and DHing. Those two are more than comfortable doing either. And the first pitch from Ricomini to Trimble is popped up and drifting foul into this crowd. It'll bounce off the fence, and it's caught by a fan with one hand and a beer in the other. And no expression on his face. 0-1, 0-2. Trimble swings through a changeup. Great crowd. Just another great crowd here at Sinsheimer. Packing the house. 0-2 the count on Trimble. Fouled back. He'll stay alive. No outs. We're in the bottom of the fifth, and it's 4-2 Crabs with the lead. They plated the first 4. Who's responded with 2 in the fourth. And here's an 0-2 to Trimble, freshman at UCSB. Ooh, and generous strike 3 called. Ricomini's been working the outside part of the plate against either righties or lefties. That's what's been so impressive. So he'll strike out Trimble for the second time today. Justin's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Here's Ruben Mercado, batting 8th today, coming off of his 2 best games of the season. And he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And now there's 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. Ruben shows bunt, gets it down. Ranging on is Morgan from third, throwing over to first. In time to get him, my goodness. Second web gem we've seen from David Morgan at third. Mercado, who's got speed, laid down the bunt and ends out grounding out to third. Here's Craig Miles, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out or a pop out to the shortstop in shallow left. He'll bat with no one on and 2 out in the bottom of the fifth. It's 4-2 Crabs. 0-1 to Miles. Oh, 1 to Miles. That one's lined into center. It'll drop for a base hit. So Miles singles. That's his second hit of the season. Great sign for Craig, who singles to center. Working it back to the top of the lineup now, and Ryan Fenn, who bats with Miles on first and 2 out in the bottom of the fifth. That's the 4th hit off Ricomini for the Blues. Fenn fouls one back. It's 0-1. Hits by Grotto, Cermak, Shell, and now Miles. Craig, who's walked a number of times, gets himself a base hit. And Fenn in an 0-1 count. Miles takes off for second. He was off the bag a lot, and he somehow got back in. Tag was applied by Gioso at first. Miles really walking the tightrope at first. Almost about at a more than healthy lead. Yeah, he was at the point where you just have to go to second, but he somehow got back into first and was safe. At 1-1, the count to Fenn. Ryan grounds this one to second. One hopper. Fischel has it, throws to first, and that retires the side. Our score still 4-2, and Rico Mini works around the Miles single to put the Blues away, and we'll be back in the top of the 6th. It's still 4-2, and Luke Bell is still out there. I'll be right back after a short break. Thanks for hanging out on the Blues Streaming Network and making us a part of your Friday evening.
Same picture.
We're set to start the 6th. It's still Luke Bell out there for the Blues, and it's Connor Kincaid hitting in the 9-hole today, the left fielder, to lead us off in the top of the 6th. Score still 4-2 Crabs. Kincaid responsible for one of those 4 runs as Bell plunks him to lead off the top of the 6th. Second hit batter by Luke today. He hit David Morgan to lead off the top of the 5th. Now hits Kincaid, who is the only Crab to have reached now in all 3 of his plate appearances. He has walked, singled in a run, and has now been hit by a pitch. We work our way back to the top in Ethan Smith, who has homered and walked, and takes strike 1 from Luke Bell. It's still 4-2, and there's no outs in the top of the 6th. Smith, who, of course, started this thing off with a bang. Solo homer. Shell thinks about throwing to first. Didn't have a good grip on the ball. Decides to just toss it back to Bell. Count now 1-1 to Smith. Ethan, who ambushed Austin Teixeira on the fourth pitch he saw in this game, went deep to left. That made it 1-0. At one point, it would be 4-0 Crabs until the Blues would plate two in the bottom of the fourth. Bell throws a fastball over to Grotto at first to check on Kincaid for a second time, excuse me. Count still 1-1 to Smith, awaiting to see his third pitch from Bell. In his first at-bat against Luke, he walked. 1-1 is outside for ball two. We're in the top of the sixth. It's 4-2 Crabs, and Ethan Smith is in a 2-1 count against Luke Bell with Connor Kincaid on first. He was hit by a pitch. That 2-1 is outside. It's now 3-1. Here is that 3-1 from Bell. In there for strike two. So Bell, who came in relief of Austin Teixeira in the fourth with 2 outs, has pitched in the fifth and now pitches in the sixth. Full count, but instead will throw over to Grotto at first, checking on Kincaid. So Smith has homered, grounded into a double play, and walked. Here's a payoff pitch from Bell to Smith. It's swung on and missed. Gunning into second is Shell. Throw gets into the outfield, but Kincaid will have a stolen base on the strikeout. Ball one to Dylan McPhillips. So that strikeout of Smith, the first out in the top of the sixth. Here is McPhillips now, 1-1 the count, and it's ball two to him. So Kincaid is safe at second. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning, then stole second in the process of Ethan Smith striking out. Here's Dylan McPhillips now, who's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and is responsible for 2 of the 4 Humboldt runs. 2-0 the count to him. Luke Bell checks second twice. Now comes to the plate. Popped up. Infield will have a look, but it'll drift foul into the crowd. 2-1 the count. 1 out, top of the sixth. 4-2 Crabs. And it's the catcher, Dylan McPhillips. McPhillips, average of 244 coming into today. 10 RBIs, tied for the lead, of course, he took the lead. He now has 12 RBIs on this season, and he leads the team in that statistical category. He awaits a 2-1 from Bell. Outside ball 3. McPhillips, who singled after the Smith homer, grounded out to the pitcher back in the third and drove in 2 in the top of the fourth. Popped up and ranging back. That one lands right in front of the press box. It takes a bounce right in front of us. We may have caught that on camera. I hope we did. The count will be 3-2 as it's full now. That'd be 3 or 4 souvenirs now. We're not even in the 7th. We're in the top of the 6th. It's 4-2 Crabs. And it's a full count now to Dylan McPhillips. Here's the payoff pitch. That one's popped up. Is that another one? Here we go. Who's got it? Lands in the grass. And a dad with a glove. Looks like he gives it to his son. He does indeed. Nice moment. Still a full count, 3-2. And there's one out. The man at second is Connor Kincaid. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning, stole second in the process of Ethan Smith striking out. And here's another payoff pitch, but nope. Luke Bell will step off and force Kincaid to head back into second as he had a lead. Three-two is the count. Hit foul and sharply to the left side. So we've got a battle on our hands here between Luke Bell and Dylan McPhillips. A lengthy at-bat now. McPhillips awaits what'll be now the eighth pitch of this at-bat between him and Bell, and it's still Kincaid at second. There's still one out, and it's still 4-2. Humboldt Crabs with the lead. First of a three-game weekend series. Bell checks second twice, now delivers a 3-2. In there, strike three called. So we get McPhillips to strike out, and there's now two out in the top of the sixth. Back-to-back Ks. Still have Kincaid at second, but back-to-back Ks have given him two outs. Here's Gabe Gioso, who has walked twice and grounded out in this one. Bell steps off and forces Kincaid to head back into second. Here's his first pitch to Gabe Gioso, the first baseman today for the Crabs. Outside, ball one. In there, strike one, count even at 1-1. There's two outs. Bell got Smith to strike out and McPhillips to strike out looking. Those are the two outs. And Bell in search of a third. That would send the Crabs away and strand Kincaid at second. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back against the netting. Fans in the orange seats put their hands up as if to say that if it came to them, they would have barehanded it and caught it on the line. But that's why the netting's there. It's 1-2 now to Gioso. Bell pitching in relief of Austin Teixeira. One and two to Gioso. Oh! A generous call on strike three. And Bell will strike out three in a row to end the inning. And I mean, the pitch did have movement on it, but it found its way back to the plate. Called strike three. Bell, after hitting Connor Kincaid, struck out Smith, struck out McPhillips, and strikes out Gioso to strand Kincaid at second after he stole a base. That's it for the Crabs through six. Blues bats up in the bottom half, still trailing by 2, trying to keep that 7-game win streak alive. This crowd is alive and well. Haven't had much to cheer about other than that bottom of the fourth that saw the Blues plate 2. We'll see what's in store in the bottom of the sixth. While we have a moment, I want to thank another one of our generous sponsors, Injectors Direct. They personally sponsor when the Blues score, you score, which, of course, when that happens, when the Blues score, fans get Miller Lights and wine for $3 for the rest of the inning. It is a fan favorite. So thank you to Injectors Direct for sponsoring that personally. And how about we head to the bottom of the sixth now? It's Mason Grotto to lead things off for the Blues. The last time Mason led off an inning, he doubled and would come around to score. That was against Caden Ricomini, who's still out there for the Humboldt Crabs, and he delivers ball one to Grotto. So Ricomini in his sixth inning of work, it's the longest a starter has gone against the Blues this season. That one is in there, off speed, looked like the changeup, and it's 1-1 on Grotto. No outs. We're in the bottom of the sixth, and it's 4-2 Crabs. Grotto, who's 1 for 2 with a double, looks at ball two. Two 1. Now 3-1 as Grotto has looked at 2 straight balls to get the count in his favor at 3-1. Mason, who has had such a great eye at the plate this entire season. And Ricomini is set to deliver this 3-1. Grotto looks at strike 2. That one was in there. Count full on Mason Grotto playing first base today. Here's Ricomini to the plate. Grotto swings and misses. It's his second strikeout today. So Grotto is 1 for 3 with a double and 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. Here's Cermak. He's 1 for 2. With that RBI triple that brought in Grotto after he led off the inning with a double. That pitch is over the head of Cermak, and it's ball one. Cermak, who tripled for the third time this season to drive in Grotto. Cermak with so much speed out of the box in center. Fouled back at the post. Whoa! I wasn't ready for that one. Is it in here? I'm fine. I would have caught that one.
It scared me more than it hit the
Oh, yeah, that noise was what really got me. Here's the second pitch to Cermak. Is that a fair ball? I didn't need to get woken up, but that woke me up. What's the count? 1-1 on Cermak? Oh, it's 1-2. Thank you. 1-2 on Cermak. There's 1 out in the bottom of the sixth. Oh. Never a dull moment. It's 4-2 Crabs. Ball 2. I can't wait to listen back to this.
All right,
2-2.
here you go.
Bounce, and it's 3-2. Count is full on Ryan Cermak. 3-2 the count. Here's a payoff pitch from Ricomini. Swung on and missed in the dirt, and they'll throw to first to complete the strikeout. So Grotto and Cermak strike out in the bottom of the sixth. There's 2 out now for Austin Shell. And no one on for the Blues as they trail 4-2. Here's the first pitch to Shell. Off speed in there, strike one. So he's ahead on Shell. Same pitch in there, strike two. So the curveball working for Rico Meany as it's 0-2 on Shell. He's thrown that pitch 3 straight times. Gets Shell to strike out on 3 pitches, but the pitch is dropped. He'll throw to first to complete the strikeout. Rico Meany strikes out the side. He strikes out Grotto, Cermak, and Shell consecutively to end the inning. That's it for us through 6. Score remains the same at 4-2. So after Bell struck out 3 to end the 6th, Rico Meany goes out there and strikes out arguably the 3 hottest Blues bats like it's nothing. And 4-2 our score. Crabs in the lead. New pitcher out there for the Blues. We'll introduce you to him on the other end of this break. I'll be back with you on the Blues Streaming Network. And thank you for making us a part of your Friday evening. So we are in the top of the 7th. That's where we find ourselves now here at Sinsheimer Park in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. Temperatures have dipped, now in the mid to low 60s as the sun sets. And the new pitcher on the mound for the Blues, number 14, the right-hander, Kevin Lyons. Still waiting to see where he's going to start his collegiate career. And he's out of San Diego, California. And Josh Lauk at the plate to lead off the top of the 7th. Lyons delivers ball 1 inside to Josh, who has struck out, walked, and grounded out to second. Officially 0 for 2 on the day. 1-0 is the count. Lyons gets the sign from Shell and now delivers the 1-0. It's outside. Lauk checked his swing. It's 2-0. Here's the 2-0 to Lauk. Hit on a hop to Mercado at short, and he'll gun to first. 1 out.
Was he pitching already? Yeah, this is first inning.
So Lyons starts his evening with a ground out of Lauk and now has to face David Morgan, who has made a couple outstanding plays at third, was hit by a pitch back in the 5th and stole second in that inning. Other than that, he has struck out and grounded out to third, fouled back, and out of play. Lyons gets ahead 0-1. We're in the top of the 7th. There's 1 out, and it's 4-2 Crabs. Oh and 1. Breaking ball, line defend at second, and he'll grab it. 2 out now. Here comes Tyler Gannis. 0 for 3. Lions has gotten 2 quick outs on a ground out and a line out, and Gannis steps up now, having flown out to right, grounded out to short, and struck out looking. This is his 4th at-bat, and Lions delivers way inside, and they'll say it hit him. Usually this season, it's been the Blues that have been getting hit by a pitch. That's now the 3rd Crab that's been hit by a pitch, all on off-speed stuff. So Gannis takes first, and now Lions faces Ethan Fischel, who fouls one to the right side and gets behind 0-1. So Fischel bats with 1 on and 2 out in the top of the 7th. His team leading by 2. Ethan singled back in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and flew out to left in the 5th. Lions guns to first. Corrado doesn't apply the tag as Gannis was safe. 4-2, still our score, and it's been that way since the bottom of the 4th when the Blues tacked on 2. None have been added to our 6-run total on the day. Taking off for second is Gannis. Shell will gun there, and it's another stolen base, the 3rd of the day for the Crabs. And it's the 2nd time that a man has been hit by a pitch and then proceeded to steal second. Meanwhile, the count is 0-2 on Fischel as the pitch to him in the process was a strike. So he's in the hole, 0-2. Lions checks second and delivers to the plate. It's in the dirt. Shell digs it out, and it's 1-2. With 2 out in the top of the 7th, Fischel bats with a man on second and a 1-2 count to him. Fouled off to the right side. And we'll do it all over again. Count and situation both remain the same with Gannis at second. He was hit by a pitch that had him safe at first. He proceeded to steal second, and here is Ethan Fischel now, still in that 1-2 count against Kevin Lyons, who checks second twice and now deals. In the dirt, gets away from Shell, but he digs it out again. Count now 2-2 as Fischel has worked it back to even after getting behind in the count, 0-2. Fischel, part of this productive bottom third of the Crabs lineup, looking to continue the trend. Lions deals in the dirt, ball 3. Count is full to Fischel, and here is the payoff pitch from Kevin Lyons. Hit out to right, softly, and will drop for a base hit. Run will score. Gannis comes in, and it's an RBI single for Ethan Fischel. And the bottom third of this lineup for Humboldt continues to kill the Blues. It's 5-2. Fischel with his second base hit, his second single. That one scores a run. He's reached in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. And here's Aaron Casillas, who has 2 singles to his credit as well. There's still 2 out, and that's when the Crabs have done damage. Aside from the solo homer that led off the ball game, they've scored. So other than the 1 run, they've scored 4 of their 5 runs with 2 outs. And here's Lyons to face Casillas, taking off for second. And in there, in time to get him, the throw from Shell was in time. So Fischel, trying to steal second in the process, is tagged out. But he drives in a run, and it's 5-2 Crabs. That's our score after the Crabs go away in the top of the 7th. It'll be Caden Ricomini out for another inning of work. This will be his 7th, and he has been spectacular. Aside from the bottom of the 4th when the Blues were able to get to him in plate 2, he's been tremendous. He'll be out in the bottom of the 7th. In the meantime, it's time to stretch. Let's all do the same. I'll be right back with you on the other end of this break on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out.